Now let's take you to Liberia, where initial results from the presidential runoff election point to an extremely tight race. With almost a quarter of the results in, President George Weah has 49% of the votes, just behind the opposition's Joseph Boakai, who has over 50%. In the first round, both men were also neck and neck. Neither President Weah nor Mr. Boakai achieved more than 50% of the vote in the first round of the election, triggering the runoff. The same two candidates also faced each other in the 2017 election, which ended in a runoff, which was comfortably won by President Weah.
I will now read the Consolidated National Presidential Progressive Tally reports, to be followed by those reports from the counties. Of a total of 1,315 polling places, of a total of 5,890 polling places, constituting 22.33%. Boyka Joseph N., UP, votes obtained 193,041, constituting 50.71%. Weah George Mane, CDC, votes obtained 187,615.
Well, for more of this, let's cross live to the Liberian capital, Monrovia, and speak with our ICE correspondent, Punariman Benjamin. Good to see you, and thank you very much indeed for joining us. What's the latest in the count in that runoff?
Okay, so information reaching us still shows that opposition candidate is still leading with over 700,000 votes, while the incumbent president, George Weah, is having over 600,000 votes. But countings are still ongoing, and we're still waiting to see whether by the end of the day a winner will be declared. But so far, countings are still ongoing, and this is the latest we have concerning the results.
And it's very interesting, as we were saying in the intro, that, I mean, apart from this this sort of latest election, in 2017, the two men ran against each other again. But of course, at the time, it was much easier for George Weah because he won reasonably comfortably.
Well, when we went around the streets of Liberia, we spoke to some of some young Liberians who are on the streets, and we spoke to supporters of both candidates. What supporters of George Weah saying is that he didn't have enough finances to execute the projects that he wanted to. They were saying that George Weah didn't keep to his promises. Those who are supporting opposition candidates are saying that he didn't keep to his promises. Some of them were accusing him of not staying in the country. They said most of the times he's outside Liberia watching his son play football. So those are some of the things that those who are not supporting him are saying. And others are also saying that, especially the young Liberians, they said he didn't open up opportunities for them. Most of them are out of jobs. They said he should have created opportunities for them to get something to do. Most of them are jobless. And also those who are supporting Joseph Boakai are saying that he is the right man to do the job. Looking at his antecedent when he was vice president during Johnson Sirleaf. So these are the things that are going on. These are the things that people are saying on the streets of Liberia. But again, all of this will not constitute to votes until the final results are out. Then we will know who is the winner of this presidential runoff.
Right. And briefly, Punariman, how disputatious has the process been? I'm wondering if things are fairly civil and orderly and calm in Liberia, as far as you've been hearing, or are there fears of violence? Briefly.
Oh, the election was very peaceful, even when the INEC, I said INEC, I beg your pardon, even when the ECOWAS observation mission had their briefing today with the EU observers, they said generally the election was peaceful. Well, there were violence in some counties, but they were not, they were put on under control. And we just saw a smooth process. We just saw people who are really willing to vote for their next president. And we just saw the calmness, we saw the anxiety, exhibited by voters. And so far, I'll just say that the election was peaceful. We heard also that in some counties, some people tried to disrupt the process, but at the end of the day, the police were able to put everything under control and the process went on smoothly. So far, there were no there were violence, but not as much as what we experienced in Nigeria. And we also say that the election was peaceful because people actually cooperated. They followed the process, they followed the procedure, and they casted their votes without any agitation.
Okay, thank you very much indeed, and I'm sure you'll keep us updated as more news emerges around that runoff election. Punariman Benjamin is a Rice correspondent. She was talking to me there from Monrovia.